G'day folks, Links here, and welcome back to Greg Tech New Horizons. So today I think is going to be Magic Day, so you've been warned. So I will just quickly go over kind of what I've been up to. So I've laid out an area for bees. This is where I'm going to put my at least first set of alvearies. I think this is like 42 alvearies. I think that's what we'll go here. So I will lay those out at some point. But the reason I'm not setting those up yet is because I want to get the shifting seasons brew. And for that, I need to do some basic witchery. And I kind of thought, well, if I'm going to do... You don't need a lot of Thaumcraft infrastructure to do the basic witchery. But I kind of thought if I'm going to, then I might as well probably spend a few days on magic. So the other thing I've been on with is I built a second industrial farm. So this is farming starworts for Nether Stars. So basically the starworts get put into the forge hammer, where they get forge hammered into purified Nether Star ore with talic acid, and then I just send them to ore processing to be sifted. It's working pretty well. I've got 26,000 Nether Stars. I've level limited this to 5k, but yeah, this produces Nether Stars decently fast. I will probably have to do something bigger in the future, either scale this up or do something like blood magic meteors for Nether Star ore or something like that. I don't know what the demand for Nether Stars is going to be like in the late game, but for now I just need an amount and a passive source of them for crafting. So this will make components or specifically sensors and emitters less painful to craft. So I also actually I think that's pretty much it. Actually, sorry, I've also been playing with the new Greg Tech armor, the mechanical armor. So this is basically, as far as I understand it, the planned replacement for the IC2 nano and quantum armors as part of the kind of wider deprecation of IC2 in the pack. I still have my nano suit. I've equipped it for cosmetic purposes because I wasn't a huge fan of the default look of this armor. So I do have it equipped in the cosmetic slots. But which I actually only learned these were a thing today. But yeah, so I have it equipped in the cosmetic slots. And the way that this works is you can start building it in HV. So you build the mechanical parts, and these on their own do nothing, essentially. But then what you do is you put them into... So if I grab the helmet, for example, you put them into here, and you give it a frame. And the frame determines two things. It determines the damage reduction percent, and it also determines the slots of the slot configuration. So the adaptive frame, which is available in IV, is what I've chosen for all my parts. It basically gives me 2 protection slots, 1 movement, 1 utility, and 1 prismatic, which can have any modifier in it. And then you also choose the core. The core does actually determine what upgrades you can put in. So a lot of the upgrades just require the nano core, which you can make in HV, but there are some upgrades that require the quantum core, which you make in IV. And there are some upgrades, there's a handful of upgrades that require I think it's the living core is the next tier, which is available in ZPM. So this is basically what I've got in the helmet. So I've got protective lining, which you only need to put into 1 armor piece, and it applies hazmat protection. Same with the astronaut's equipment. This provides spacesuit and only needs to go into 1 armor piece. And then I have night vision, and I have the goggles of revealing, which do provide a discount, AV discount. And basically I've got similar upgrades in the other. So in the chest piece, I've got the jetpack. And the jetpack stabilization is an upgrade so when you create the jetpack in HV, the hover mode will slowly see you descend. You'll descend very slowly in hover mode. that really annoys me. I hated it about the jetpacks in Nomi Factory. It only goes away with the vibrant jetpack in Nomi Factory. I don't really like that because the jetpack stabilization is actually gated to IV, I believe. So it requires the quantum armor upgrade. Yeah, and it's gated to IV. I kind of feel like this shouldn't be gated to IV. I don't mind it being a separate augment. That's not really the part that annoys me. I think it's just, yeah, that's gated to IV. But that doesn't matter because I'm already in LUV, so I don't have anything in the leggings. And then in the boots, I've got full damage protection. And then what I've got is I've got this upgrade, augment. I've got this upgrade in, the Apprentice Striders. These are essentially the same as the Nano Suit boots of the Traveler. So they apply a V discount, and they apply speed, jump, and step assist. They provide speed boost and jump and step assist all in one module. If you don't want to do magic, then you can get these as separate modules. There is there's like jump assist, step assist. I think there's a speed one somewhere as well. Speed boost. So you can install these as 3 separate augments. But I don't know if there's actually enough slots to have all 3 of them active at the same time. But if you don't mind doing infusion, then you can make these in HB. You can also convert existing nano suit boots to the Traveler as well. But otherwise, you can make them in HB with infusion. So yeah, I think I quite like it. I do quite like it. I'm having to kind of break the muscle memory a bit because the keyboard shortcuts are a bit different. Because there's no like mode, a lot of the shortcuts with the IC2 suit kind of revolved around the mode key, but that's not the case with the GT suit. So it used to be like, I think it was spacebar plus Z, I think is what I was using for the to toggle hover mode on the nano suit. But in the with the Greg Tech armor, I'm using shift plus space to do it. So I'm just having to kind of reprogram the muscle memory a bit. But overall, I think it's pretty good. There are some quite useful augments that I haven't got yet, like the... I can't remember where it is. So there is one that is... So this one's quite handy. Shock absorbers, you put it in the leggings and it gives knockback resistance. Heat dispersion, that's not really useful for me because I have fire resistance from the Pigman backpack. So that's not really all that useful. There is also a milk one as well. Yeah, this one. So basically you put this in the helmet. I don't think I've actually got any slots left to be able to put this in. But basically you put this in the helmet and it cures negative effects. So it just constantly removes negative potion effects. So that's kind of what I've been up to. As for what I want to get on with today is I want to invest in magic infrastructure. So the plan eventually is that I want to do blood magic. And blood magic, witchery may not need much Formcraft infrastructure, but blood magic, as far as I'm aware, at least needs a decently robust sort of Formcraft infrastructure to kind of make it less tedious. And I'm still managing all my essentias manually. I'm still burning stuff manually. I'm still feeding essentia to infusion manually. I'm still doing the crucible manually, despite the fact that I have an ME interface attached to it. This is from last year, when I was going to look at Thaumic Energistics last year, for people who might remember. And then I basically didn't play GTNH for like 4 months. Or 5 months, actually, I think. So I've got my energized node feeding a V relay, which is connected to a V relay interface, and that is to charge the wand in my arcane terminal. The way that you link these is using the memory card. So you basically sneak right click on the V relay interface and then right click on the arcane terminal, and that links them. So that is, so I at least have that. So arcane terminal crafts are not too bad now. I would like to automate them, but I need the arcane assembler for that. I'm not sure if that's going to be a today thing. It might be, but my main goal for today is I want automated essentia. So I've crafted 2 essentia storage cells. I may actually want a third one. And we need a way to get the essentia into the network. I actually crafted an export bus. I don't need essentia export bus. I don't need that. I just did that for the quest. There are helpful quests. Basically, what we want to work our way down to is the... We might want to get this, actually. I might see if I can get this today. Yeah, I might see if I can get this today. So, the... Essentia into the Essentia sorry, there's 2 ways of automatically feeding Essentia to the infusion setup. You can either do it with the Essentia infusion provider, you can either do it with the infusion provider, so you basically just put it like around here somewhere, you know, basically within range, and make sure it's and connect it to AE, and make sure the AE network has all the Essentias that the infusion needs. And if it does, then the altar will just suck the infusion out of the infusion provider. But the other way you can do it is you can use this infusion interceptor, and you can put that directly underneath the center pedestal, and then underneath the interceptor you can put a regular essentia provider, and basically what will happen is the altar will instantly consume the essentia from the network, rather than pulling it through the air. So basically, it massively speeds up the infusion, and then the only slow part that would remain would be the part where it sucks the items off the pedestals. But you can speed that up with a world accelerator still. But I won't be, you know, I don't need to look at anything like that yet. I just need to automate the essentia part of the infusion. Items aren't too bad. So I, in theory, have all the researchers I need to get started. So I think what I want to do is the plan I have is I'm going to craft another one of these first of all, and I don't know how many types of essentia there are. I think it is something like 112 or something like that. These 1024K cells can hold 36 types each. The way that these work is the size of the cell determines how many types it can hold. So like the 4K can hold 12. The 1K can hold 12. That's 12. Where is it? That's also 12. Yeah, there we go. So the 256K can hold 24. And then the 1024K can hold 36. That is, what is that, 48, I think, if I'm, and then, what is that, 60, and then eventually we get this, which just gives you all infinite of all essentias, but you need UIV, or you need to be able to at least make UIV field emitters to get this. I don't know, is that the most expensive part of this? The UIV field emitters? This might be pretty expensive too, actually, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, we're a long way away from that. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is my goal for today is to be able to autocraft in the crucible. And to get the infusion interceptor for the runic matrix. So then we can at least do easier infusions. I am going to have to do a few manual infusions to get the basically get the essentia provider and whatnot. The other goal will be I'm going to use an import bus to suck all the essentia out of all these jars and shove it into the network. But the other goal will be to set up level maintainers for the essentia. Now, I don't know if I can just use the Open Computers level maintainer or not. Essentia, as far as I'm aware, Essentia handling in AE works differently in 2.9 because of the fluid rework, or it might not be specifically the fluid rework, but I believe Essentia handling is different in 2.9. It is better, from what I understand. But yeah, if I can't do it in there, I should be able to do it in here. And the idea would be, is that I could then just level maintain essentia. Because from what I understand, at least from the quest book, is you can't have essentia crafting as a step in another craft. I don't know if that's still the case, but the quest book says it is, so I would assume it's still accurate. But yeah, basically you can't have it. You can't have the system craft essentia. You can't have the system craft essentia as part of another crafting step, but you can still craft it automatically yourself from, you know, the terminal or presumably from a level maintainer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and partition these cells. So the plan is I'm going to put a equal distribution card. So I've got 3 of those and a void overflow card. So I'm going to put void overflow cards and equal distribution cards into these cells. And hopefully that should be enough for now. I don't think 3 cells gives me enough types to be able to... I don't think 3 cells gives me enough types in order to cover all the essentias, but we'll see. So for now I need that. I need a Terra Crystal plate, which I do have. And we will get these partitioned. So I will see you guys in a few minutes once I've got these cells partitioned, and also once I've got some essentia in the network from these jars. I'm just going to hook them up to an import bus. So I'll see you guys in a few. And I'm back. So I have my essentia cells set up. I did actually partition these initially, and then kind of thought, I don't think you actually need to. I think if you just put the equal distribution card in, then it will, and don't partition it, then I think it just divides the storage space by the number of types. So it should be 1024k divided by 36, essentially, is, I assume, how it works. But yeah, so we have... So I had all my jars and stuff. I've just popped them down next to this essentia import bus to pull everything in. And if we go look at the... So one easy way to search for it is all the mods come from... All the essentia represented in AE2 comes from a mod called Aspect Recipe Index, which I believe is new to 2.9. I think it replaces the Formcraft NEI plugin. I think this is actually fairly new. So yeah, these are all the essentias that I've got in. You can also do it this way as well, but yeah, I think if you just do that, you use the @ symbol to search for the mod and just search for ASP, you'll basically get all the aspects. So those are all in the network now. So we want to look at autocrafting aspects now. And I've taken my alchemical furnace from over there. In fact, I can get rid of these, because don't need those anymore, and they're a bit unsightly. So there's actually 2 really handy things we can do. So first of all, I should probably take this over and put it over there as well, to generate aqua from water. Yeah, to generate aqua from water, but that's fine. But one of the other nice things we can do is we can basically take this Thaumic Restorer and probably move it over here. I am just doing a ME cable under the grass, so that is what I'm doing right now, and I may just actually do it all the way around, in all honesty. We'll see, because I may need AE up here when I eventually look at blood magic stuff, but for now, what's in here? This is just... What is in here? I don't know. Yeah, I don't actually know quite where these came from. I presume they're from ages and ages ago. But yeah, so I've never looked in that chest in a long, long time. So yeah, I should actually import these, bring these in as well. But yeah, so we want to look at autocrafting. Now, this uses its own machine called the pattern... What is it? The distillation pattern encoder. And what you do is, let's choose a really simple item. So we want, like, metallum, for example, comes basically from... you can get it from nuggets. I think if you do it from ingots, then you... I actually know some ingots do. So if I look at, like, I don't know, iron ingot. I have so many iron ingots. I have over 1 million iron ingots. So that provides metallum. That is a pure source of metallum. There's nothing else. It doesn't provide any other aspects. So I believe all we have to do is we take a bunch of... Am I really running that low on patterns? Apparently I am. So we basically just take a... you go away. Let's just make 128 patterns in the background. So basically we just put patterns in here, and then we put that in there, and if the item has multiple aspects, it will show you the aspects that are here. Now, if you just click the pattern, if you just click the button, then as far as I'm aware, the way this works is it will just pick the highest aspect from the list. This only has one aspect, but if you put an item in here that has multiple aspects and you just click the button, then it will just select the highest aspect. But you can also select the aspect from the table as well, I believe. So in theory, all we should have to do now is put this in here. And the way I've got this set up, so I have an alchemical furnace. I do intend to replace this with the better one when I find it. I'm better off just alchemical furnace. I do intend to replace it with the Thaumic alchemical furnace because this is faster. But I can't be bothered doing an infusion right now. I just kind of want to set up something that works. So I've attached some arcane bellows. I think the primary issue with this, aside from the fact that it's obviously not the fastest thing in the world, is I believe the extract speed when it puts into the ambelic is quite slow as well. So the arcane bellows speed up the smelting, but they don't speed up the extraction speed. But what I have is, I think for my immediate needs, that'll be fine, especially because I'm going to try and level maintain aspects. But so basically what I have is just alchemical furnace with 2 arcane bellows. I'm feeding it coal dust from the bottom. I think the fuel has to be fed in through the bottom. And that is coming from the ME interface. And then basically, yes, I have some warp. And then basically I have the ME interface will put in this case, iron ingots into the thing. So if I don't know if I can multiply this pattern. Because I presume I can't put this in here. Oh no, apparently I can. I have no idea if this works, so let's try it. I can't see why it wouldn't. And then I have a essentia import bus attached to the ambelic with 4 acceleration cards in it, so it'll import 7 per tick, which is much faster than what this can output, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, if we do aspect, so we see we have the autocrafting icon for metal, for metallum. We have iron ingots. So if we start and follow, oh yeah, let's put them in 16. And I assume if we look at this, yeah, there we go. We're autocrafting essentia. That's brilliant. So what I should be able to do, I think what I might do is just to avoid confusing myself, I might actually put the essentia into... Oh, there's a bit of a rendering. There's a bit of a rendering error there from behind. I was going to say I might put the essentia into an ME level maintainer, but maybe not. It's probably fine. I'll probably put it into the Open Computers one. I just need to... What I'll do is I'll just comment in the config file that I'll group all the essentias together in the config file. But yeah, so that's done. But as you can see, it's still emptying from the furnace. So this is the slow part, is that I have to wait for it to empty from the furnace. But yeah, that is autocrafting essentia. So if we look at the... Let's look at the pattern for something with multiple aspects, like a ender pearl. And the nice thing is that, so if we look at... Oh, I just put it back into the network because I'm dumb. So if we put you in there, so basically you get... I don't know how that works. Do you just... reset? I presume the idea is if I do that, if I get rid of that. Oh, that's how you do it. So these are ordered by... Yeah. So the way you select which one the ME interface will... Oh, sorry, the way you select which one will actually be the output of the pattern is by just getting rid of the ones that you don't. So you can either do that. You can either leave it like that, or... Yeah. You can either leave it like that, where it will output all of them as pattern results. But I presume this could cause issues with other... I presume this could cause issues if you have multiple patterns that provide the same essentia. So I guess the idea would be is just get rid of those and say we'll use it to provide Helenus. And then we would put that in the interface. Now that will give us it will still give us the other essentias, the other 3 essentias, but that's not actually an issue because these have void overflow cards on them. These cells all have void overflow cards and equal distribution cards. So while we will get essentias that we don't want from some items, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter because those excess essentias will just be voided in the network. So if we grab that and we basically just shove that in, we just shove that in there. I could probably speed this up by adding more alchemical furnaces. So basically have this input into a chest and then have and then use item conduits to spread the items across the chest. But the smelting speed is not the issue, it's the extract speed. But by the sounds of it, the Thaumium alchemical furnace should solve that. It does need to be fueled by what is it? This stuff, alumentum, which is a crucible recipe. Oh, it's coal dust. That's awesome. We get that from Netherrack, so that's actually fine. So yeah, I was actually worried it was coal. We could also get it from charcoal dust, which we can just get charcoal, mace rate charcoal from our nitrobenzene setup. So yeah, that is probably that is what I will do off camera, is do the infusion recipe, is do the infusions for the advanced alchemical furnace. But next is we want to autocraft with the crucible. And this requires the essentia provider, which we can make. We have all of this, so we can make it. It's just an infusion recipe. And annoyingly, it will be a manual infusion recipe for now. So I think what I might do is actually rush the infusion provider, which requires the essentia provider. Because if I rush the infusion provider, then we can not have to manually supply essentia anymore. So what I'll do is I'll go away and get the items that we need for these, and I'm going to have to jar the essentias for the first sort of 2 things. I don't know how easy that is to do. Can you do that from the terminal? Because that would be sick if you could do it from the terminal. So if I grab you, can I then just Can I then just grab, like, if like one of them is, yeah, like aqua, for example? Oh yeah, you can. Oh, that's sick. And then it's just right click. Yeah, that's sick. Okay, that's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I will go away and get the preparations done for the infusions, and then we'll come back and we'll set up auto crafting for the crucible. and we'll put the infusion provider down and see how that works as well. So I will see you guys in a bit. Right, and we're back. It's been some hours, actually, because I got sidetracked with trying to do a bit of Formcraft progression. But I do have positive news to report. So I have autocrafting set up for the Formatarium. So the way this works is that we have an interface on mainnet, which contains, in this case, I'm just autocrafting Elementum. This interface pushes it into a subnet, which just has a storage bus on it, which puts the coal dust into here. And then on this side is an ME interface on mainnet that receives the output. And then we have the Essentia provider up here. So for some reason, this kind of got stuck and it wasn't feeding Essentia into the Formatarium. But I broke and replaced the Formatarium and that fixed it. So I'm not quite sure what the issue was. Now, this can only handle so many recipes. By default, it's 1. Unless you put more of these things on it. What is it? Mnemonic matrix or whatever. I can't... Not sure if that's the way to pronounce it. Adding each one of these grants 2 additional recipe slots. So this one, with the amount that I can get on, will be able to do a total of 11 recipes. And then I would have to make another one. I also have the Essentia autocrafting setup. I have actually made it better. So I've switched to using the Formium alchemical furnace with Elementum fuel, which means this is not anywhere near as slow as it was before. In fact, I can actually saturate 2 Ambelix worth of import buses now. This is... What is this doing? It's not pushed it in to the... The autocrafting does still seem a bit weird. So the aspects are all there. Yeah, one thing that I was a bit curious about is the quest book says that you can't... the aspects can't be auto-crafted as part of another craft. Assuming I'm reading it correctly. I don't actually know where it was. I think it's under here. Yeah. There isn't a way to have the system craft Essentia on demand for a craft. I have a feeling that might not be the case in 2.9. Because when I set the Elementum craft going, it requested the Essentia from here, and it crafted it all. It's not crafted the actual Elementium, but for some reason, that's because it couldn't push the coal dust in. Yeah, it's not pushing the coal dust in. I don't know why. I had this problem before, and I have no idea why it's being weird about it. Right, I'm going to see if I can figure this out, and we'll be back in a minute. Right, so I'm back. I don't know what was wrong. Breaking and replacing the interfaces seems to have fixed it. I managed to craft a batch of 64. Now I need to try again and see if I can craft another batch. But also something I've noticed that was interesting, which I didn't think was the case, is that something was requesting crafts of Essentia from here, and it wasn't, but they weren't part of the Alumentum craft. So I don't know. So I have a feeling, I don't know if the Essentia provider can request request Essentia if it's craftable. So I'm going to try not including it in the pattern, because I don't think I actually have enough Essentia to craft 8 of these. I might actually do. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't have enough Ignis. Yeah, I don't have enough Ignis. So I'm very confused. Yeah, I'm very confused. So I'm gonna give it another go. And then we set that going. Yeah, it can't put it in. I don't get it. There's nothing in this network. At least I don't think there is. Yeah, there's nothing in the network. So I don't know why it can't I don't know why I can't put it in. That's very strange. I might go see if I can do a bit of research and figure out why that's being weird. And then I will come back. What I might actually do, though, is to test my other theory about it. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to cancel that craft because that's clearly stuck. And I'm just going to take 8 coal dust, throw it in there, and see if anything requests essentia. Because something was requesting essentia, and it definitely wasn't me. And it wasn't part of the crafting plan. It was actually a completely separate craft. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, essentia. So the essentia provider can request missing essentia if it's... So you don't need to... So for the... At least for the formatarium, I presume it'll be the case if I set up the infusion, if I set up a infusion interceptor with an essentia provider for the infusion altar. But it looks like you don't need to include, at least when using the essentia provider, it looks like you don't need to include the essentias in the pattern. It will just request them. If they're craftable, it will just request them. Which is, yeah, that's cool. I actually don't mind that. It's still not what the quest book says. The quest, I don't think the quest book mentions anything about this. But yeah, so they're done. But I presume if I try and craft some still, it's gonna say no. Yeah, it still won't put it in. So I'm not entirely sure what's up there. I will have to go figure that bit out. So I'll go see if I can figure that out, and then I'll come back. Because that is really weird. Because my plan, at least for Elementum, is to put a crafting card in this interface to keep this stocked. Because I need to at the very least keep this stocked, so then I can melt more essentia. But yeah, this is very fast now that I've got this in. I don't even think I'll need to bother world accelerating it, to be honest, because I'll probably just level maintain a load of different essentias. So yeah, I will... I'm going to go away and see if I can figure out what the behavior with this is, because it's really annoying. And I will see you guys when I've figured it out. And then we might set up the infusion setup, and then I'll probably call it there then. I think tomorrow will probably be Formcraft. I want to do the Eldridge progression because I'm kind of already into it. So I've already got the Eldridge tab unlocked and all that. So I might as well give that a go and see how much Eldridge progression I can get. But yeah, anyway, I will go away and try and figure this out. And I'm back. Right. So it appears to be fixed. I just got rid of the subnet, so the interface is now directly on the formatarium, and it works. So yeah, that's automated crucible recipes. So this is not how you would do it in versions prior to 2.9, because versions prior to 2.9 have the whole fake essentia thing. So in 2.9, it is basically as simple as this. Input interface with the patterns, output interface to receive the items out, and an essentia provider. And that's it. You don't need a subnet or anything like that. And then if you wanted to parallelize them, you could just use P2P interfaces to parallelize them. So yeah, this is... there is a guide on the wiki about automating this, but it is for versions prior to 2.9. I think it even has a message at the top saying that the guide won't work in 2.9. So yeah, this is how simple it is in 2.9. So I hope people at least come away from this video with something. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this setup. For now, I do want to get the large essentia smeltery, but I need to get the primordial pearl for that, I believe, before I can actually build it. Oh no, sorry, the advanced alchemical furnace. I mean, the large essentia smeltery would probably be good, but the advanced alchemical furnace is what I'm thinking of, which I think I need a primordial pearl for. But either way, for now, this will do. I'll level maintain the essentias, or a bunch of them anyway, and then we should be good. But yeah, so I want to get infusion working. I want to get something. I want to get the thingy crafted, the infusion interceptor, and I'll need a second essentia provider. So I'm gonna get those crafted, and then we'll look at how they work and get them set up, and then I think that'll be it for this video. So yeah, I will see you guys. I'll see you guys in a bit. I just need to gather all the items and gather all the essentias and whatnot. So yeah, at the moment I've just been doing it like literally by hand, using the wireless terminal. But hopefully this will be the second last time that I need to do it this way. So yeah, I'm gonna go get those crafted, and then we'll be back and we'll get them set up. And we're back. So I got it crafted up, and the setup basically just looks like this. So there's just the infusion interceptor directly under the center pedestal, and then the essentia provider under that. This isn't required by any means, but it does make the essentia consumption instant, which is always good. I apparently have a valid infusion, so I just wanted to show it off. So I'm just going to craft another essentia provider. And if I kick it off, what we should see is we can see it consuming essentia. I mean, it doesn't look to be instant. We need to watch out for this. We don't have enough essentia in the network, and it is autocrafting it. It is requesting it. But infusions become less stable if they're not fed their input ingredients. So we do have to be careful. Oh yeah, there we go. It's pulling everything in now. Yeah. So it just needed some freaking or however it's pronounced. But yeah, we should have a thing in a minute. So maybe that's actually why it wasn't instant. It's because it actually ran out of essentia in the network. But yeah, the network auto requested it, which is awesome. And yeah, there we go. We have another essentia provider. So this is awesome. I'm not automating infusion just yet. I may look at that. I'll probably look at that off camera because I have no idea how that works. So I may look at that off camera and then explain it once I've done it. But yeah, so I have automated crucible recipes, and I don't have automated infusion, but I don't have to handle the essentia anymore. So I can just put the items on here and click go, basically. All I have to do is make sure that whatever essentia is needed by the recipe is at least craftable in the network. But ideally, you still want to have it in the network prior to starting the infusion, because if it takes a while to craft, or if you're missing multiple essentias and you have to wait for them, then the infusion stability goes down. or the instability goes up. But yeah, that is automated crucible recipes. We have essentia storage. We have essentia storage. We've got essentia smelting. Even if it's not the greatest setup in the world just yet, it'll do for now, especially if I level maintain it. And then we have essentia being fed from AE into the infusion altar. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I think this is a good point for me to call it a day. It's definitely been an interesting learning experience with Thaumic Energistics. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next. It will probably be witchery for bees, to get shifting seasons for bees. While I was going around looking for crimson cultists, I did find a village and find a book of biomes. So that does make my life slightly easier. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. And if you've made it this far, then thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a good one.